Hello, friends. It's the Cinemondo podcast. Kathy and me, Burk. Sometimes a movie comes along that sounds like something I would like because it has an actor in it that I like, and it's a genre that I like science fiction. And this is one of those. It's like, seems like maybe a big production. It's got Ryan Gosling in it, and it's a science
That's
fiction.
all you have to say to me. Ryan
Yeah.
Gosling, I'm watching it because you know you're going to get something not only good, but it'll be fun. He's always charming and fun to watch.
Yeah.
I hated The Gray Man, but it did have its points.
But this is a trailer called Project Hail Mary, and I actually a couple of days ago heard that mentioned somewhere, but that is literally all I know about it.
That's all we know.
Zero about this movie other than the title and the fact that it has Ryan Gosling in it and that it's supposedly science fiction.
Well, it's directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, and they've collaborated on a bunch of a lot of animation. It seems like they're high concept with humor, and then a kind of what could be a relatively scary concept, but they never. It's got humor to it, so I'm interested in kind of seeing this idea.
Hail Mary
there's a copy line. A science teacher is given one chance to save us all.
A Hail Mary, of course, is a term for like your last ditch effort, the last chance to, like, I'm just going to throw this and see if it works, kind of, Luke Skywalker launching the things without his targeting computer. Yeah. And so, usually implies some sort of suspense and, countdown kind of a thing.
Well, there's stakes. So we're going to have like kind of a comedy with a great, really super charming actor and stakes. So
yeah, let's
see what we got.
Let's see what this looks like.
Okay.
We ready?
We're ready.
And action.
Please state your name.
Ryland Grace. I just woke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment.
And I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut.
Oh, God.
I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die. With the rest of us.
Glasses hanging off.
The sun is dying. You are the only scientist who might know what this says.
I'm just a teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle.
You have a doctorate in molecular biology.
Easier.
I need you to come with us. This is Project Hail Mary. The sun is not the only star dying. Every star was infected by its neighbor, except one.
Why?
We don't know.
Which is why we built a ship to go there and find out.
It's 11.9 light years away. The astronauts die in space.
It's what you Americans would call a long shot.
Hail Mary. I get it. Who on earth is going to sign up for this?
If we do nothing, everything on this planet will go extinct.
You'll find a solution.
You are my solution.
I put the not in astronaut. I've never done anything. I've never done a space. I can't even moonwalk. I understand the stakes. I do. But my place is in the classroom.
The world is counting on you.
This might be very hard for you to understand.
Whoa.
But some people are not good at things.
You know who you are. You're gonna do great.
I conquered zero G in 5 hours.
Object
Don't show too much
approaching.
in the trailer.
Oh my God.
It looks epic.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Don't show any more.
Oh.
So I met an alien. He's kind of growing on me. At least he's not growing in me, which was a concern for a little while.
A little alien. What?
End it right here. I don't want to see any more.
ended
Okay,
it.
good.
They ended it. They
I'm
ended
Grace.
it.
I'm gonna call
they
you
didn't
Rocky.
end
Thumbs up. Nope, that's thumbs down. You would do the thumbs up. It's close enough.
All right. So, I mean, technically it's based on a book, so everybody knows how it ends.
Right.
But
if you read the book.
If you read the book. But, this looks like one of these, like, it looks really epic. I love the song choice. It was great.
Yeah.
It sounded really epic. And then I like that, you're right. They showed too much, but I guess, there was a hook they needed to kind of get there to show us that there's an alien interaction, even though I would have been fine with him just existing on a ship in the middle of nowhere, possibly just out there to die. There's something really poetic and cool about that. But this is about just watching Ryan Gosling do what he does best, which is be the kind of comedic, way too good looking to be this funny guy.
Yeah, and it's, I just recently watched the Danny Boyle movie Sunshine, which seems to have a similar premise of the sun. The sun is having troubles, and they have to take a giant bomb to it and reignite the sun.
Yeah.
But this one seems like something else is happening. Maybe some alien intervention is going on, and the aliens somehow are putting out all the stars in the vicinity in our
or trying to light them also
stellar neighborhood, or trying to create some mega scale tech out of a star system, star cluster or whatever. But it's the kind of movie I like. I like movies where the science is at least trying to be sound and interesting, even if it goes into unreal territories with mega scale engineering and things like that. But I love also first contact stories where people encounter aliens and have to kind of find a middle ground. How do you communicate with something that evolved on another planet? We can't even communicate with somebody in Japan,
in our own neighborhood.
I mean, in our own neighborhood, there might be somebody down the street that speaks a different language and has a different culture. And imagine what it's like if you meet somebody on another planet. But anyway, that's what I love the exploration of in science fiction, because those kind of ideas are fascinating, and they kind of push the limits of what what we can do as humanity. Are we good enough to meet aliens? Do we live up to the expectations of life forms out there that are more advanced than us? Or are we like, is the Earth a sort of planet that's infested with these horrible, violent, smelly monsters that's like,
you mean Earth?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yes,
is that how they would see it?
Disgusting alien monsters. We are
like, what if we went to a planet and it was a planet that you could live on, but it had all of these horrible rattlesnakes on it, or mosquitoes,
or other humans,
but something that was repulsive to us. You know what I mean? So we would go down there and just exterminate all the mosquitoes,
anything that's not like us,
and then we would be happy. We'd be able to live there.
We do that here.
So you kind of wonder if somebody does come to our planet from way out there somewhere, are they going to look at our planet and say, it's a really nice planet, except for one thing.
You guys.
Yeah.
Except for humans.
Yeah.
I think I'm also endlessly fascinated by anything that's about living like on a spaceship or being in the universe. Like The Martian was good, where he was on Mars. Matt Damon. I love like when I saw the footage of him just on the ship, like doing his thing and doing the ship, I can watch that forever. I love the idea of trying to survive either on another planet by yourself or in a spaceship, just trying to survive. Endlessly fascinating to me. So this makes me want to read the book. Just seeing that trailer, I wanted to read the book.
I think there's some connection with The Martian. I saw something on the trailer that said The Martian, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe it's the same producers or something.
I need to pay better attention, and this proves that I didn't know anything about this.
We're trying to absorb a lot, but also, you put a really likable actor in this, which makes them feel very relatable, so that you're kind of you're like him. Like, how do I figure this out? I just woke up out of a coma. Now I'm on the spaceship. Who knows where? What am I supposed to do? Like, and then him trying to figure out how to communicate with another, species, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I know. This looks fascinating to me. I like it. It's weird. It's like, you're the one, you're the solution. Like, all these people, they picked you. Like, I would be a little bit like, why am I the guinea pig?
And am I good enough? Really? You really think I'm good enough? But the thing is, what's interesting about this compared to the movie Sunshine, which also had a theme of, huge
no humor in that at all.
Not much humor in there at all. But the interesting thing to me about this one is that they do sort of explain why they need to send a person, other than sending a robot ship that can send back telemetry or tell us what's going on or solve the problem itself with AI or whatever. But it needs a human on it, because evidently he's he's got some ability to solve problems or knows something. I would doubt that he's the last physicist on the earth or cosmologist, but he has got something that they have determined through probably, AI calculations, went through and, assessed everybody and, extrapolated everybody's information and came up with this one name and said, this is the guy we need to send. He's the most likely to solve the problem. But in Sunshine, what always bothered me about that was it had a big crew of people and a whole bunch of life support on the ship, a whole bunch of resources to support the life of people, which is a huge expenditure.
That's why that's good just sending robots, because you don't have to worry about any of that.
And basically all they were doing was flying into the sun to drop a giant bomb into the sun. And I always felt like, why did they need to send a whole bunch of people?
Because it makes for a better movie, right? Like you get more interaction, more of the like relationships and people, that are expendable or not expendable,
But this had that great scene where he's like, well, why is it doing blah, blah, blah? And the whole room says, we don't know.
That's right. It's like, but why is it? Why did only one not get this?
Right. And
you noticed it. Now we need to know why. Right.
Yeah. So, and it's like, they don't know. And it's like, that's why we're sending you, because you're a guy who can evidently figure things like that
and you got to see it with your own eyes, which is also like, really? Like, I still feel like you'd still send a ship with like cameras on it.
But the problem is the time dilation, the whole thing about if you go out there, then you have to wait for the message to come back, which doubles the time. Yeah. But if you send a person out there, they get there and then they immediately start making choices and decisions. They don't have to send, 11 years back.
But they don't get to come back.
If it's 11 light years away, how long did they
11 years?
14
11 years.
11 years. So you would have to wait 11 years for his or for the robot's assessment to send you information back. And what if you were like, oh, that's good, but what about, and then you send it back 11 years and then you wait another 11 years, 22 years.
But can't the robot, the ship can just send the message just like he sends a message. It doesn't have to come back to do that.
But he doesn't have to send a message back. Once he gets there, he's going to be able to look at the situation and say, oh, here's the solution,
But he still has to get that message back.
Maybe he doesn't need to send a message. I'm just saying if the AI went out there and didn't know what to do and it needed advice, it would need to write back. But he is a human. He doesn't need the advice. He's the authority. He's going out there. Right when he arrives, he would say, okay, here's what needs to be done. And he would do it, So
well, it sounds like he is talking to them though, which would make sense. I mean, he's on camera talking about it, right?
I don't know. That poses a problem with light speed and stuff,
Well, I think it's the same as like when you send out the Hubble craft.
Unless you have an Ansible, which our nerd listeners will know what I'm talking about.
We have Ryan Gosling upside down. I like the touch of the glasses hanging off his ear, which he has in the conference room. And I like they include the looks like probably the high school. Well, it says auto something, but Horseshoe Bend. So it has like this kind of small town T-shirt. Oh yeah, here you go. From the New York Times bestselling
the same
author
as
The Martian.
So there's going to be some scientific accuracy in
he
here.
Does that. Yeah. So, okay. I love that too, because again, I loved Martian because of that living. How do you live on another planet or on a spaceship by yourself for that long?
There's survival
that's fascinating to me. So I think this is a really good poster. You get Ryan Gosling, but it gives a little twist that he's upside down and kind of like defying gravity and everything. That's a very, very cool poster.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. So we have a lot of information. They had to stick all those big quotes up there about the guys who worked on the Spider-Verse and the Martian. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty good pedigree.
I'll tell you.
I want to see it.
The kind of movies I like are like this. I like science fiction that's written by people who care about the science to a degree. I'm not one of those people that hate Star Wars because a lightsaber could never exist. And Star Wars is what it is. Star Wars to me is fantasy.
Fantasy sci-fi.
I can deal with that. I can totally deal with spaceships that make noise in space. It's entertainment, but every once in a while it's fun to have a film that takes place in because you can then sort of imagine, wow, if you really went into space, how horrible would it really be?
Yeah. And how lonely and like, I don't know, just be, I love that. And like The Martian had a lot of stuff about like how to, how to survive, how to continually make oxygen, like all these cool scientific, thoughts and theories about how would you survive on a planet like Mars, so I like this too. He's bringing that same science-based narrative to this of like sending a guy out to a planet, like what would happen psychologically, what would happen physically. Like you saw him in this little botanist room, it looked like, where he can, so it's like, it's just very interesting to see, like, is it possible in these fictional, theories and movies and narratives, can we do something like this? Can humans actually go out and just live in space or on another planet? That's always been the, like, can we do it? So
not
I love
easily,
that. And not easily, but I love it.
It points out how good we have it here, and how we should really think about taking care of this planet that we do have access to.
It's the only one we got.
Yeah, because if these people that say we should move to Mars or whatever, it's like, that's going to be worse than coming out to the California in a covered wagon during the gold rush. That was easy.
Well, and also, is it really better to spend all this money and technology to go to Mars, and we should just take care of our planet here with the same technology and care, and like make this planet hospitable, which it is. It's made specifically for us. Like we survive on a very delicate chemical balance on this planet. Can we just do that? I don't know. We could get in really deep in the weeds on this one, but this looks like a fun movie. I love Ryan Gosling. Everyone does. He's amazing. So very excited.
Looks like fun.
It does.
And it looks like the kind of movie I really like. I love first contact films. I love the interaction with completely unknown life forms, and how like the Arrival, I thought was a pretty great idea.
Yeah, it was.
It's like the story was how difficult it is to communicate, how difficult it is to find a common ground, and to connect with something that's so unearth-like,
and not just to react with violence because something's different, or somewhere, like just or scary. Yeah, come on.
It's like, don't be so scared of it, communicate
thumbs up,
with
thumbs
it.
Down. All right. Let us know what you think of this. Did you read the book? Did you love it? Is it going to be good? Let us know.
Looks cool.
Yeah.